It's rare for a transfer to arrive with its price already attached, yet that's more or less where Sunderland stand with Arne Engels. Back in January, Nottingham Forest had 3 separate bids knocked back on deadline day, and in doing so they effectively set the going rate, £25 million. Celtic said no then, but everything about that rejection pointed to timing rather than money. Losing a key midfielder with no window left to replace him was never going to happen. A summer offer changes that calculation entirely. Under Martin O'Neill, Celtic are reportedly chasing funds for a wider rebuild, and £25 million would rank among the biggest sales in the club's history. The leverage has quietly tilted towards the buyer, which is why the deal is being framed as gettable, and why the advice doing the rounds is for Sunderland to go straight in at that figure and leave Forest and Fulham trailing before a bidding war can even start. There's logic in moving decisively, but a price being available twice doesn't make it the right price. £25 million for a 22-year-old whose senior football has all been played in Scotland is a sizable bet on a step up that has caught out plenty of talented players before him. The Scottish Premiership and the Premier League are different worlds in tempo and physicality, and a fee that size leaves no room for a gentle bedding-in period. At that money, he has to contribute almost immediately. The rush carries its own danger too. Going in first to head off rivals can look clever in hindsight, but it can also mean committing top dollar before you've properly tested whether the player fits what you're building. Beating Forest to a signing is not, in itself, evidence that the signing is correct. Then there's the matter of where he'd actually slot in. A £25 midfielder isn't recruited to warm a bench. That fee is a guarantee of minutes. Sunderland's midfield is already one of their deeper departments, so the real consequence reaches beyond whether Engels is good enough, into who loses out, and whether spending heavily in an area of relative strength is the wisest use of a budget. A European campaign will pull in several directions at once. To be fair, that congestion cuts both ways. A season carrying Europa League football needs more midfield bodies than a domestic one, so depth there won't go to waste, and a 22-year-old with genuine resale value fits Sunderland's model neatly enough. Still, the framing of this one deserves resisting. The temptation is to see £25 million as a bargain simply because Forest were once willing to pay it. The more useful question is whether this is the midfielder Sunderland genuinely need, and whether they can answer that honestly before the urge to beat Forest to the punch answers it for them.